Today on Everyday Self-Awareness, we're going to talk tactical pens. Things that you might want to consider if you're thinking about carrying a pen for self-defense. So let's get into it. First, I need to apologize. Usually I like to do this type of thing at the studio, at the dojo. But we had over 14 inches of snow last night, and it's still snowing. And I'm not going to get to the dojo. On top of that, I've got a head cold. But I digress. Let's get into it. So the first thing that you want to look at when you're looking at a tactical pen, it's got to be solid enough and it has to have the ability to take impact, okay? Most pens that I'm aware of are aircraft aluminum, very solid, at least that type of material or harder. The problem is when you go into something that's more metal or steel, that is, it's going to get heavier. So the aircraft aluminum, it's lightweight, it's solid, it's structured well, it can deal with impact. Both these pens that I'm going to be talking about today are made of that material. The next thing I want to talk about is the tip. Now the tip of the pen, I've seen all kinds of tactical pens out there. If the tip of the pen is too sharp, if it's got some kind of real sharp pointy edge, because they really want you to be able to sink it into somebody, it's not going to be great for for self-defense. And I'll tell you why. You're more prone to get it stuck in material. See, when you are using a tactical pen for self-defense, it's an impact weapon. It's meant to be able to be a force multiplier, especially if the person's bigger than you. It puts something in your hand where you can get some pain and manipulate somebody by hitting a pressure point or something along those lines. But if you put a very sharp point on it, it can get caught up in the material and you can lose it out of your hand. This is important to remember. Some of these pens out there are coming up with all these gadgets that do this and do that. And the fancier they are, the further away, in my opinion, you're getting away from a tactical pen and what it's supposed to do. Okay. On that note, tactical pens should be able to be a force multiplier, hit pressure point areas, create space where you can get away, and they should be able to write. Other than that, they don't need to do anything else. Okay. Next thing I want to talk to you about is the grip. Now, I like a pen that's got a nice wide tail cap on it because for the most part, I'm going to use a pen in a hammering motion. Okay, it really allows me to sink or use the weight of my body like throwing a baseball, and you want that thumb to be able to be supported. Okay, so you're going to want to look for a pen that's got a good tail cap on it where that thumb can fit nicely. Okay, now both these particular pens have that. This particular one's got a little bit more of girth on it, but I'm going to get into that in a minute why that is. The other thing is making sure the pen is proper length. So I look at a pen as a two-dimensional thing. I should be able to use it both on the end and the tip of the pen, okay? So I can use it both ways if I need to. So that pen for me has to be at least 5.5 inches, and that depends, of course, on your grip, the size of your hand. Now, if it gets too big, I've seen pens that are 7 inches. Too big, you can lose that pen easier. It's harder to hold on to. It can get caught up in material easier. So you want to be careful with that. Now let's get into the word tactical in pens a little bit more. We talked about the material, grip, things that we're looking for in the pen itself. The word tactical is fine, but if the pen looks really super tactical, you're going to have a hard time being discreet about that, especially if you're going into a meeting or if you're trying to get on a plane through TSA. This particular pen, which is the one I carry the majority of the time, looks a lot more tactical than this pen, okay? Now, the reason I carry this one all the time for the most part is because I can. The state that I live in allows me to do it. And I'm not going into a lot of fancy business meetings. However, when I fly, I carry something like this. I don't want to draw attention to myself, and this is important. You definitely don't want it to get taken away, because if you don't have the pen on you, it's not going to do you any good. especially for self-defense. So with that, let's wrap this video up and look at the big picture. The big picture about tactical pens. Two things. They need to be able to write. They need to be able to function like a pen. And the second thing is they need to be able to be a force multiplier. When I have a pen in my hand, it allows me, under a self-defense situation where I need to break away from somebody, get away, it allows me to hit certain pressure points, certain areas of the body where I can create enough pain to be able to break free, hopefully, and get away. So again, it's a force multiplier. It ups the game for me, especially if that person's bigger, faster, and stronger. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions on what kind of pens that I was showing today, what my preferences are, message me. I'll send you links to the 3 or 4 different pens that I like to carry. Those 2 today that I showed were the ones, the most common ones that I carry. But if you've got any questions about that, please message me, and I'll be glad to send you over a link and a description on why and where to get them. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, stay safe.